All right, you beautiful bastions of freedom, it's time. We have all 50 votes. I'm going to walk you through the entire thing. I did not have this on my bingo card. Honest to God, I did not expect Susan Collins to flip an Uno reverse and all of a sudden be for the Voter Registration Act. Hey, look, my camera shut off right when we started. This is going to be a great live stream. It's already being amazing. Good job, camera. I love every second of this. But as you guys get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on while I completely and totally fix my camera, and then I'm just basically live audio, I guess, because, my camera decided to do what it's doing. So as we get through this, just bear with me, and I'm going to continue to show you some amazing things. Hey, look! There I am! The power didn't go off. My camera's just a piece of crap. All right. We got things to do. We got so many things to do. And guys, I swear to you, I'm going to get a new camera. This bad boy right here has been acting a fool for way too long. But we're not going to let that stop this freedom train. That is how you basically maneuver around a technical malfunction while you're behind the camera and in front of the camera and all the pieces. All right. All 50 votes, people. We are going to dive into this entire thing. And if that happens again, don't worry. I'll just throw the camera out the window. It's all good. But we're going to talk about something that you guys need to see, along with a lot of crazy and a lot of FAFO coming for the lefties. So as always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. That camera thing happens like once in a blue moon, so it's not all the time. And then occasionally I'll hit the audio button wrong. But you know what? We're all human, and we're going to save this country being as imperfect as we are. And of course, chats, comments, emojis make the entire world go round. Guys, we have got so much stuff to do. It is pretty wild. Are you acting a fool? I'm not. The camera is, though. Yep. Yeah, I love it. Every time I make a mistake, it's all good, guys. All right, here's how we... words. I can't talk. This is how we roll. Comments, chats, emojis make the entire world go round. It makes the notification bell get up off his butt in his mom's couch, brush off the Cheeto dust and crumbs off his chest, turn off the Xena reruns, and get a job. Apparently the notification bell is a liberal. All right, so comments, chats, emojis make the world go round. All right, you guys know the rules. Once it's in there, once it's pinned, we are off to the races. Let's get it. We have 638 people right at the start, and despite a camera malfunction. Who doesn't love the crap out of that? Okay, y'all. The first clip I'm going to show you is the appetizer. It's the beginning. The beginnings of a freedom meal that I've prepared for you. It's something to get the creative juices flowing. And in some cases, I have to give you a little bit of a warning, and I'm going to be real with you. The one that we're about to use is going to go under the give them the microphone warning. There's going to be some inappropriate things that the arsenal and the big ordinance that they started using on the Antifa left and ICE riots in Minnesota last week have made their way to Don Lemon's trial. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're about to get a crash course and give them the microphones. All right, you've been warned. This is going to be a little inappropriate. Might make some of you squeamish, but you know what? Show every Democrat for what they are. I'm just going to freaking say it. All right, here we go. This is the breaking news coming out of the Don Lemon trial and the arraignment for, that guy. This is how they are protecting free press. This right here. I'm going to show this video for you, and it turns out we found more Democrats in the wild, and they brought their favorite new ordinance. If you know what that is, you know what that is, and if you don't, you don't. But let's just play the clip, and it's about protecting the press, guys, because there's nothing that, you know what? Tangent. What is it about liberals and Democrats when they want to protest, they put reproductive organs out in the open? You remember when Trump 1.0, when they put labia hats on their heads and walked around Washington, D.C.? Remember that one? The bunch of vaginas walking around on people's heads. And now they've got these things outside of a protect the press situation with Don Lemon after he invaded a church. Don't worry, they've got songs. Watch. It's not just those two either. There's going to be some flopping. I've set this up enough. I can't wait for the comments on this one.
This is Donald Trump because he did lobby. Sorry, I'm joking.
That just requires a slow clap. I mean, you talk about effective protest. I'm quivering in my little space boots. I'm shaking like one of those Arsenal things they were holding. I mean, whoa, crazy. That's what they want to put out there as a Democrat in the wild, on the streets, uncovered in its natural habitat, protesting a court arraignment and chanting freedom of the press while holding that and wiggling. And by the way, special editor's note, the cameraman with the dive-in zoom really needed that in my life. Thanks. Y'all, this is real. This is outside Don Lemon's court arraignment. White leftists are now waving those things at Don Lemon's federal arraignment for storming a church, yelling, "Protect the press." These people are deranged, and white liberals are mentally diseased. Bring back the asylums. I mean, there's only so many things that I can say on YouTube, but like, I think we've covered this. I can't wait for the chats, the comments, and the emojis on this one. I got some super chats. Oh my God, I cannot wait to read all these. All right, here we go. Grunt says $2 for a new camera fund. We're going to need a lot more of those. Okay, then we've got Bacchitis, new camera fund for $5, and Jimmy, new camera fund. Okay, apparently we're just gonna crowdsource a new camera fund. Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate each one of you for contributing. It is on the short list. Believe me, it is definitely coming. All right. Well, thank you for that. This is what happens when we leave the cage open. Yeah, guys, please send this stuff out, please, because when you encounter Democrats in the wild, you just have to show it. And don't forget, when the loyal lefties wander into the chat, just defend the chat's honor. You guys are deputized. Let's keep on going. I got some more stuff for you before we get to the really important things. This is just more salt in the wound. I'm going to be honest. This is like a really great way to end the week. So, you guys have heard of Minnesota, right? You know, state, cold, Walter Mondale, always blue, Tim Walz, wacko liberals live up there. It's like Washington, D.C. in the Midwest. It's like Washington State in the Midwest. Favor or oppose elimination of ICE among people in Minnesota. Favor is 42% and oppose is 46%. So all the protests, all the riots, all the everything that you have, all of it, the obstruction of ICE, the Tim Walz, the Mayor Frey, we defeated ICE, all that, you still have a majority of the people that oppose elimination of ICE? That's not what we were told. Something doesn't make sense. How could this be? Again, I leverage sarcasm really heavily on this channel in cases where it's appropriate. And it's pretty appropriate right now. Because I was told that everyone and their brother wanted to get rid of ICE. And it was an absolute Democrat victory. And ICE was absolutely going away. And then the Democrats bent over barrels in Minnesota to basically get rid of their sanctuary city policies. And then they started working with the White House. And then they started getting in trouble with their radical left base in Washington, D.C. when they were, basically working with the Republicans and Donald Trump to protect ICE. I was told that it was all a foregone conclusion. Well, it turns out that Republicans oppose that idea at a minus 58, and independents oppose it at a minus 7. What's that thing I always say on this channel? If you don't have the independents, you're pretty much effed. Yeah, this whole anti-ICE thing, it's not going to last long. The polling is not supporting it. The Democrats are going to fold on this. They've already folded on policy. They're going to fold on this push too. And the far left is going to lose their freaking minds because they're going to get smoked on it. Because they don't care about polling. They don't care about reality. They don't care about where their population is. They just care about their virtue signal. But anyway, let's keep on trucking. I got something else, which again, I thought was very, very odd. This is not what I was told. It is very weird. From The Economist. Even after federal agents were filmed killing a mother and a nurse, no propaganda here, in Minnesota, Americans still trust Republicans more than Democrats on immigration. You guys seeing it yet? I mean, sometimes you and I feel like we're kind of out in the crazy pasture, just kind of like out in the wind, like we're the only ones seeing what we're seeing. It turns out, no, we're not. They just weren't telling you. Right there. Even with that propagandistic tilt right there. I'll dive into the article in another video, probably this weekend. But that's weird that more Republicans will be trusted than Democrats on immigration after all of the conflagration that they put forward. All right, here's some more stuff. Again, I swear, guys, I was told this was not the case, and I don't... Let me hear in the comments, chats, and emojis if you guys remember being told something very different, because I seem to remember being told that there's not a prayer, a chance, you are completely irrelevant. Donald Trump is evil. The White House is evil. No one likes you. Go eat dirt, pick up rocks, stick them in your eyes, and then just jump off a cliff because, I mean, you're done. You're toast. You're gone. And yet, still, we have things like this that are just fascinating to me because they can't exist in the same ecosystem. You can't have both extremes. It's not possible. Two things can't occupy the exact same space. Joe, this is a far left account, by the way. Dems are going to have the bluest year since 2006. Yet, the Oregon governor race will be single digits. Wait a minute. Y'all, that sarcasm switch is fully on. Like, it is like nailed to the floor. Come here real quick. I'm really curious. How is it possible that you could have the bluest year on record since 2006, but your race in Oregon is within single digits? Please, someone explain this to me. And I'll never tell you the outcome. I can never predict what's going to happen. We're going to vote like we're losing, grind like we're losing. All I'm going to do is show you the realistic viewpoint on the ground to not make you stick your head in the sand and basically not let the propaganda get away with what it's trying to do. And that's to dissuade you from believing something that's true. Okay? How is it possible in Oregon, a very deep blue state, with Seattle and Antifa and all the far left wokies, how is it possible that's a single digit race, but at the exact same time it's going to be the bluest year since 2006? Do you see how those two things conflict? It's not possible. I'm not saying that A is going to happen or B is going to happen. But what I am telling you is those two things cannot occupy the exact same space. It is impossible. You want more evidence of this? Let's keep on trucking. Again, we are just in the appetizer. Look, same guy, far lefty. I swear to God, if the GOP flips California governor's race, this is a second follow-up post. This is not the first one. California poll, governor, top 2 advance. Both are Republicans. Both are beating Eric Swalwell. I said it. So how, again, is this possible while the narrative is established as what it is? Let me run through this again for you. Because remember, you are dumb. You are evil. You are hated. Everyone doesn't like you. It's going to be the bluest year you could ever imagine. You might as well not try and not vote. Meanwhile, you got Democrats in the wild doing this with okay. Then you've got in Minnesota, people don't want to get rid of ICE, which is one of the mainstays in political capital burn that they just did in the Democrat Party. You have the economists saying that they still trust Republicans more than Democrats. You have Oregon in a single-digit race in the bluish year since 2006. And then you have California polling at the top 2 people being Republicans in a jungle primary, which means the top 2 go forward. It is completely possible, not guaranteed, completely possible by the rules of California governorship elections that the top 2 move forward and one of them is not Democratic. Now that's, of course, if no one drops out. People are going to drop out. There's going to be a Democrat in California. That is extremely unlikely. But my point is, Oregon, California, Minnesota, ICE, dildos. I mean, like, y'all, what they are putting forward as fact is not. All right. Let's keep on going because these things just don't make sense. And let me hear you in the comments if I'm over the target, if I've got planes, if I'm landing the plane, like if I'm crazy, please tell me. Because some of this just does not make sense at all. All right. Oh, Fred Samuel, I think, is the next super chat. Hold on, I got to read that super chat. Okay, yeah, that's a good super chat. Hold on a second. MP 1876 said, $10 super chat. How can Autumn enjoy your handsome face without a properly operating camera? That is very, very valid. I'm leaning on the beard and the voice in that scenario. The voice that I've got a face for radio, but I've also got a voice for radio. I'm going to be honest with you. People have told me. That's how I really lean on that when the camera malfunctions. I just lean into the voice. I drop a little bass in there. You can like hear my beard. It's a thing. All right, and Fred Samuel with a $5 super chat said, we need to get the SAVE Act through the Senate, call Thune, and make our case. Fred, the next segment here is that excellent super chat because I'm about to walk you through everything that's going on. And it is a lot bigger than just getting to a simple number 50. This is everything. And I'm going to walk you through the entire thing in a second. You're not going to hear this from anywhere else because, honestly, I don't see anyone else doing it. All right. Now, let's keep on going to the super chats. Got a couple here. RAF with a $5. All Republicans should go to vote red in blue state elections. If they keep refusing to implement voter ID, they'll want voter ID real fast. Nice. Seattle is in Washington, dude, not Oregon. Did I say Seattle was in what? Did I say it wrong? Sorry. You're correct. Portland is in Oregon. That was the city I was thinking about. Good point. Excellent correction. Thank you. I always value feedback. Seattle is in Washington, not in Oregon. You're right. I was thinking about Portland. Sorry. You are correct. All right, let's keep on trucking. 199 isn't Democrat spelled doo-doo? With a question mark? I don't know what that one means. All right. Lynn Singer says, my voice is smooth. Well, thank you, Lynn Singer. That one goes out to you. All right, people. We have gone to a point now where we are at a break. We are resting. We are popping our knuckles. We're stretching. We got our beverages. We got our popcorn because we are about to walk through some heavy intensity freedom. And this is an important one. So please pay attention to this part. Send this part out. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on. All of those things are completely free and they're not going to do it themselves. And jump into the comments, the chats, and the emojis because that is how we make these streams go everywhere. Okay? This is a very important part. So bear with me. Buckle up. Here we go. All right. This right here is what the whole ball of wax has all been about. This is about saving our country. This is about voter ID, and this is about ID proof at elections. This is a common sense measure. This is heavily favored by all parts of the population: Democrat, Independent, Republican. Okay, 71% Democrat, like 85% Independent, and 95% Republican. Everyone wants this. I think the combined number is like 81%. Don't quote me on it, but it's very similar to that number. Okay. When you put people, and this is the point you have to understand how this stuff works. When you put people on the defensive end of an 81 to an 85% issue, they're going to have one hell of a time resisting it. That's what this is all about. We have reached the 50 vote threshold, which means it can now go to the discussion of the standing filibuster. I'm going to walk you through all of this. But I got a lot of comments in my chat and in my X account on these posts as I was updating you guys on this, at Braden LOA if you want to follow me, saying it's still a 60 vote threshold. It doesn't matter. The filibuster is still in place. This, that, and the other. That is not what we're talking about. And I'm going to walk you through the entire thing right now to the best I can. So let me know if I land that plane. Make sure it makes sense. And if you have any questions, please jump it over here because this is a very important piece. All right, let's get it. Here we go. Just now, we have 50 Senate votes for the Save America Act. Vice President J.D. Vance can swoop in and break the tie, enshrining voter ID and citizenship into our laws. All we need to do is have Senator John Thune force Democrats to a standing filibuster and outlast them for hours. This is the entire point. You have to outlast them. It is not going to be something that is going to supersede a vote to 60 instantly. You have to wear them down and make them work to resist it. There's a reason why this has to happen this way, and I'm going to show you in a second. But this is what has to happen. The zombie filibuster of what they've been doing for the past 10, 15 years is something where no one has to debate, no one has to vote, and they just sit on their butts and be geriatric. This is you actually have to work for it. So there's actually a penalty to your decisions. There's actually a cost to your decisions. This is why this is important, because forcing the Senate to function in a debate style of approach is what it's designed to do. That's why this is important, because you're going to get clips, you're going to get them wiped out, you're going to get them on record. This is incredibly crucial. And it's all now on John Thune, the Senate leader of the Republicans, because they now have 50. Susan Collins jumped over. I'm going to show you in a second. Make them debate against an 85-15 issue of voter ID on the Senate floor. This is exactly what I've been saying for a week. I told you guys something was happening, something was coming. There were things that are occurring that only happen when they are making moves on things. I told you a week to a week and a half ago. Let me know in the comments if you remember when I told you something's happening and you're going to see it soon. This is what was going on the whole time. They do certain behaviors and certain activities when they are about to do things. This is the whole point right here. Put the Democrats on the bad side of an 80-15 issue, and I've got some examples coming up in a second, to where they look like damn fools. That's the whole point. They will eventually fold. That's the idea, okay? Make the mainstream media cover it, flood the airwaves. Democrats oppose voter ID. The political pain will grow so much, Democrats will lose, and we can pass with 50 votes plus JD. Thank you to Susan Collins for joining as the 50th. And guys, this is how this works. Okay? I'm never going to tell you something's guaranteed, ever. You'll never hear me say it's guaranteed, but I will tell you things that are surrounding these areas that look like something could happen. I will always lay it out to you, and I link everything in the description box below for this very reason. 1, you can call me if I'm BSing. 2, you can see where I'm getting all my ideas from and where all my rationales are derived from. And 3, you can send the stuff out yourselves. This right here from Mike Lee, a senator from Utah. I'm thrilled to receive the news that Senator Susan Collins has announced her support for the Save America Act. This is huge. Earlier, she was a decline. She has now flipped. I wonder if that had anything to do with the pressure from you guys and the pressure from other politicians, the White House, the GOP, the House, and her Senate re-election campaign. This is the way that it's supposed to work. You want to remain in power, do what we tell you to do, even if you said, I'm against it. Fold like a cheap suit, and do what we tell you to do. This is exactly why the system works. This is why I say move forward, just keep grinding, do not stop, because they can bend, they can fold. Okay? You're now at 50 with this individual, with Senator Susan Collins from Maine. You're now at 50. Okay? This is important as we keep on trucking. Anna Paulina Luna's jumping on. Tell her thank you. Please do tell her thank you. Reinforce. I am not big on being negative for no reason. Reinforce when positive things happen and provide feedback when negative things happen. We're going to keep on trucking. This is Benny Johnson, okay? Benny Johnson is going to say very similar things to what we've been talking about for the past week and a half. This is a team effort. This is very important. Look what he says, then I'll play the video. 50 votes for the Save America Act, which, by the way, is a feat unto itself. Now all Republicans have to do is force Democrats into a talking filibuster, and it's over. We get voter ID in every American election. Make Democrats own the losing side of this 90-10 issue. This is literally how we save America. Do you see the consistent things that are popping up across what I've been saying, what Benny Johnson has been saying, what Eric Doherty has been saying? Put them on the bad side of the issue and make them defend a 90-10 issue. This is cake. This is how you put them on the defensive, and this is how you make them run out of steam while looking real stupid, saying women who are married are too stupid to get IDs. It's real easy. I mean, like literally manna from heaven. Okay? Let's get it. Take it away, Benny.
50 freaking votes breaking right now. Susan Collins of Maine throwing her support behind the Save America Act, and we have done it. We have saved America. Massive shout out to those who don't want illegal people to vote illegally in our elections. It's incredible. Democrats use their IDs to vote against voter ID. A remarkable win for Republicans. The next step is that the Republicans have to do a talking filibuster. They need to effectively exhaust the Democrats. Pretty easy. I've heard Democrat senators talk. Most of them can't really even speak English. Check out Mazie Hirono. It's not pretty. So I think we're going to win this one, and then you can have a vote. All you need is a simple majority. Republicans just need one more motion, and it's done. You get voter ID. Only citizens voting in our elections. Every American is in support of this. This is a 90-10 issue. Massive shout out to Scott Presley, who's been living in the Capitol. Massive shout out to Senator Mike Lee, Chip Roy, and everybody who has been grinding for the Save Act. And you.
All right, we're going to go back to that in a second. It's really funny. Someone just said over here, I hate his thumbnails. Well, we all try. This is the whole thing. And someone, oh my God, you guys are the best right here. Neil Watson, not yet Benny, absolutely correct. It is not time to let up yet. He is 100% correct that this is a massive victory, because anytime you get 50 Republicans, including the rhinos, on board with something, and you're putting this amount of pressure on Senator John Thune, the majority leader in the Senate, that is a massive win, because Senator Susan Collins did reverse course, and the other Republicans did get on board, including a lot of the rhinos like Joni Ernst. So that is actually very solid. Now, there's much more work to be done. John Thune is the single linchpin now. Turn this into a talking filibuster, and this can work. You deny that, and it dies on the vine. It is that simple. You are at that pivot point. It is not done yet. We are still grinding. You could die tomorrow. It could go forward tomorrow. There's an 11-day recess for this to percolate for the next few days. But this is the whole point. When you get to this level, you are further than you've ever been, but you cannot let up. You keep on grinding. Amazing thing to win and celebrate. Build on the successes. Vote like you're losing. Grind like you're losing. Share like you're losing. Be involved. This is the point. You're not going to win and change anything that you want to see changed by being a negative Nancy, a black pill, or a Chicken Little. It's just not going to happen. Flat out. And I'll say it to anybody's face. I'll go on anybody's show and say it. It's just not going to happen because we need to get over that crap. The hangover from the Biden administration is still giving us a headache, and we need to move past that. Okay, back to Benny, and then we're going to get to the next piece because this is very important. Let me hear you in the comments, the chats, the emojis. Of course, that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are grinding towards freedom. We love every single one of the 3,100 people here right now. Thank you guys for in attendance. Back to Benny. No thumbnails, but back to Benny.
Because of this timeline, we have been like hitting this piece of legislation harder than I think we've hit. We've gone harder for the SAVE Act than anything else in history on this channel for an actual piece of legislation. It is critical to saving America. Elon Musk has obviously been essential in pushing this and was essential in making sure that the last election wasn't stolen. So just a huge shout out to the crew here and to everybody who's helped save America. It's been an awesome battle. Now we just need to get it over the finish line. We're at the 1 yard line, talking filibuster, make Democrats try and support whatever the hell the argument is against voter ID. They're going to lose, expose them. They just want illegals to vote to rig elections. That's it. Or the
Okay. And this is the funniest part because, again, when you're putting them on the other side of this, and that's enough of that. You get the idea. You get the concept. When you go on the other side of this argument, what's the argument? Like, what are you trying to defend so incredibly hard, right? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, look, it went off again. This camera's proving me amazingly correct. You know what? Dan, just take it away while I fix my crap. Good job, Dan.
Folks, we talked about a topic yesterday that lit up I get a lot of emails about the show. I got a ton on this. This is a very controversial topic, but I have to address it because the two are related. The filibuster and the SAVE Act. If we all can't vote in elections we trust are free and fair. Free meaning people who are eligible to vote can vote, obviously. Fair meaning who you voted for is who you voted for and the outcome is fair. Not hard to figure out. If we can't trust that our elections are real, and the Democrats who said they were cheated out of every election ever until President Trump won, and then it changed. How dare you guys talk about stolen elections? They're so full of shit. The SAVE Act, where we'd implement national voter ID, is unanimously supported by every racial demographic, Democrats, Republicans, everyone. The Democrats have out of arguments about it. If we don't have this, folks, if we don't have it, we're going to be in a world of trouble going forward because the Democrats love cheating. They just do. They love open borders, they love the welfare state, and they love cheating in elections. That's just a fact.
All right. So Dan has a certain way and style, and, I swear to God, this camera, it might go out the window. It actually might go out the window tonight because that's really annoying. It only happens during lives, too. That's the most irritating point. This is the point. You can't defend that position. You just simply can't. Okay? I'm going to keep on trucking along. I got some super chats to get to really quickly because you guys, I'm sure, are making fun of me pretty good with the camera malfunctioning, which is awesome and totally deserved. Hold on a second. Make sure I don't miss any. The Don Lemon. That's always good. Okay, here we go. Don Lemon. Good God. EF with a $10 super chat. The Don Lemon protest was perfect. They brought little statues of him to show support. Little floppier than I'd hope. But anyway, whatever. No big deal. Neil with a $5 super chat. How to defeat their argument easily. If they say it's voter suppression and disenfranchisement, say, so you support repealing all gun ID laws, right? Beautiful. My people are smart because that's true. All right, let's keep on trucking. I think I have one more down here. Yep. 664 Charlie, $5. Cousin Benny and Big Brother Braden, y'all are tops here. Thank you very much. I can aspire to that level of influence one day. Maybe one day we'll get it. Oh, y'all, hold the presses. We have got a booster. We've got a spamming troll in the chat. This is incredible. Deploy all eagles and flags. Drown out that. That is unacceptable. Because every time you guys do that, you really don't get that you're furthering this stream further than you could possibly imagine. In fact, you're actually doing more than I can do. So by all means, copy-paste spammers, the loyal lefty that you are, keep doing it. Do it the whole stream, every single time you do it, please. I'll get my people who actually love America and who actually want to save the country, and they'll put their flags and their hearts and their emojis and their planes and their American Eagles, and they'll just drown you out, and then we'll get 2 to 3 times the impact and the involvement, which will then send the stream even further. So please, by God, keep going. Way to go, lefty. I bet you were right here at this protest right here. That's probably who's spamming right there. Anyway, let's just keep on trucking. Let's just have some fun together and save this country in spite of the lefty spammers. All right, here we go. This is an important piece. You got to know this too. Even when my equipment is on the fritz, we're still destroying these pesky lefties. All right, seriously, please, God, lefty, keep doing it. Like, I cannot even tell you how much you are helping the stream. Enforcing the talking filibuster is not eliminating the filibuster. It's just enforcing the Senate's rules and making Democrats opposed to the Save America Act actually speak if they want to filibuster. If we do this now, we might as well prepare to lose. Excuse me, if we don't do this now, we might as well prepare to lose. Make them speak. This is the point. Put them on the bad side of an 85-15, 90-10 ratio. That's it. That's the magic. That's the whole thing. By the way, the chat is flying, and I love every second of it. Thank you, Lefty. The Calvin Coolidge Project says, the SAVE Act now has 50 sponsors. Senator Susan Collins has joined the effort to support the SAVE Act. We now have enough votes to pass a motion to proceed the House-passed bill, even without any additional votes, with the VP breaking the tie. This is the point, guys. We are on the road. We are not there yet, but we're on the road. This is Senator Mike Lee walking you through what's going to happen next. I told you what was going to happen, I told you I was going to tell you what's happening. I'll tell you the next steps, and I'll tell you what's required. This is Senator Mike Lee from Utah talking about what is required. Guys, keep on defending the sanctity and the honor of the chat. Great job. You guys are just out blasting the copy paster, and it's incredible. You're patriots, each and every one of you. Good job, deputies. Let's get it.
All right, so I'm getting a lot of questions. What's next now that we've got enough votes to get past a motion to proceed to the House-passed version of the Save America Act? We've got to put all of our efforts. I encourage everyone who will listen to. The Senate needs to invoke the talking filibuster, to enforce the talking filibuster. If senators want to debate this, if they want to filibuster it, make them work for it. Make them stand up, make them speak. If we do it this way, we can continue this progress, and I think we can get this thing done. Look, there are no guarantees here, but the only shot we've got at this is through the talking filibuster. Thanks for fighting. Keep going. We'll get.
Thanks for fighting. Keep going. The shot is through the talking filibuster. That's the most important piece. And you guys are doing freaking work defending the sanctity of the chat. I cannot keep up. It is flying so fast. Keep defending that freedom. I'll be on this side. We're going to dispel this propaganda. We're going to send some country love to everybody out here and the people who just don't know. And even the loyal lefties will see the light at some point in time. Guys, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is putting someone on the bad side of a 85 to a 90-10 ratio position and letting them try to do this. This is on CNN. This is a great example of what you're going to get months of if they do this. Watch this.
80% of the people have a general understanding about what voter ID is. They have an understanding that, voter ID at some form is in about 25 states. I personally am sick of sort of the circles that we always run where Republicans are saying, this many cases of voter fraud have happened. Democrats will say, well, that's not indicative of, massive voter fraud. I want to hear where in those 23 or 24, 25 states that have voter ID laws in place already, where people are required to show an ID, where is the massive studies of people being disenfranchised? In fact, it's the opposite is true. You remember, I think it was 2021, the MLB All-Star Game pulled out of Georgia because Georgia was implementing voter ID and it was going to disenfranchise voters. The number of gubernatorial voters went from the year before 1.1 million to 1.9. Bakari, your state, I looked it up. South Carolina, because I know they're a voter ID state. They went from 56% voter turnout in the presidential year in 2012 to 61% in 2020 and then like 65% in 2024. Those are more people voting in states that have passed voter ID laws. So this is why I think the majority of Americans reasonably can look at it and say this is a good thing.
That right there is how you simply and totally diffuse this entire talking point. Georgia is a great example. I lived there at the time. The All-Star Game pulled out of Atlanta because they were doing voter ID requirements on laws for voting. And Joe Biden came there at Spelman University, I believe it was Spelman, and was saying that it was Jim Crow 2.0 and Jim Eagle. So the voting went up by like 800,000 people. So that really panned out. See, this whole thing with math and reality and, actual reports really conflict with the whole emotional narrative of sky is falling lefties. There's a reason they're defending this so hard and want to die on the Hill. I can't tell you exactly what that is, but I can guess. It's a pretty simple common sense measure. All right, let's keep on trucking, guys. We got even more things to say. God, guys, you guys you're defending the chat so hard that even Constable can't get in here and say things. I mean, you guys are doing work over there. Like, I'm loving the deputized chat defense over here. Even Representative Lauren Boebert, today is day one that the Save America Act has 50 co-sponsors. Time to bring it to the floor and for a standing filibuster at John Thune. That's where this comes down to, right there. Make them speak. Make them speak forever. I don't care about any other thing. I don't care about any other issue. In fact, come here real quick. I'm going to gamble that the camera doesn't turn off. You're looking at the single most important voter election integrity bill that's going forward, and they have 50% support they have 50 Republican senators on board ready to pass it if you can get past the talking filibuster. You don't put this to a talking filibuster, you lose all credibility. I want to get other things done. Nothing else matters as much as this. I don't care about anything else other than this at this very moment. Sure, are you going to get more judges? Yeah, you're going to get more judges. Are you going to have more people vote for you if you're willing to try and make the Democrats do a talking filibuster than if you just give up your hands and don't? Yep, you are. So if you want to get your judges over the next 3 years, which is a main important agenda item of the Senate Democrats, confirming judges for the Trump administration, then you might want to pour into the voter ID stuff because you're going to get more support for more senators, and then the whole Democrat resistance doesn't matter. It's simple electoral politics. This is not difficult. Okay, let's keep on trucking. This is the point where we come to a break. You guys, hat tip to each and every one of you guys for defending the chat's honor, the sanctity of the chat. You guys chased away that pesky lefty, the copy paster. Couldn't even keep up putting Command V in there with you guys bombarding the chat with all that Freedom American Eagles hearts and all the different American flags. That's how we do it, people. You just let the volume ring. All right, let's keep on trucking. I am so energized after that. We are just going to talk about the Kami Mamdani from Socialist Wonder Bread in New York. All right, people. I kind of hit on this a little bit in a video. I hit on this in a video prior to this live stream. But this one right here is important. You have to understand, when I say the operation microphone for the lefties, let them talk. Let them put forward their policies. Let them make decisions. Please, please, please keep going. AOC, go to Germany and look a damn fool talking on the world stage. That's coming for you tomorrow. That's amazing. Let them talk. They don't have any policy positions that work. They don't have any policy positions that make sense. They just don't. So they're really good at complaining. They're not good at policy. For example, New York City mayor says the suspect who lunged at an NYPD officer with a knife should not be prosecuted and wants his handcuffs removed. Really?
Baba, no! Hey, put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put it, move!
What's wild about that is that guy was going after that cop with a knife. The cop had a gun drawn. Any other state probably that guy gets dropped. Probably. Because that's assault with a deadly weapon. Like, that is a direct threat. So what's the mayor do? Well, the mayor, the socialist wonder boy, says his handcuffs should be removed. Okay, New York, your FAFO is about to go into the extreme overdrive because what you're doing is you're letting more and more criminals out. And if you are on camera, literally charging an officer with a knife, do you think you're not going to do that to unarmed people? New York, this is what you're dealing with. This is what you voted for. The whole, we got to get away from the defund the police thing. Yeah, no, they didn't. Just let them talk. Give them a microphone. It's not hard. Look, he's got a microphone. The guy you just saw in a video, this right here is what the sitting mayor of New York said should happen with the guy you just saw on camera who got shot by a cop because he got charged. Watch this.
The Queen's District Attorney is expected to bring charges against Javed Chakrabarti later today. I'm just wondering if you talked to the Queen District Attorney about that, if you talked to the family. I'm curious what you would say about it.
So I think I caught the bulk of your question. I have not directly spoken with the district attorney. I will say, however, that no family should have to endure this kind of pain. What they need right now is care, dignity, and support. Chavez should not be prosecuted by the Queens district attorney. His handcuffs should be removed.
The Queens district.
So this is the whole magic, right? Like, you guys saw the guy charge the cop with a freaking knife, right? Big old butcher, stabby 7-inch, 8-inch blade, which, by the way, in London's illegal because, all the knife control. You tell me how that makes sense, Democrats. Loyal lefties. You tell me how that makes sense. That guy should be back out on the street. He shouldn't be prosecuted. He shouldn't have any type of charges. He shouldn't be in handcuffs at all. The guy who was shot, who was wielding the knife, and the cop who was stabbed, both went to the hospital. Guess which one Mayor Mamdani went over there, the socialist wonder boy. Yeah, he went and visited the guy who got shot, who was wielding the knife. The Democrats are inverted. Everything they do is inverted. Men can get pregnant, awkward, that's inverted. Men can be women, inverted. Knife attackers upon cops, go and say the knife attacker should be the victim here. They're all inverted. Let them talk more. By all means, grab every single microphone. More of this, please God. Because the more you chase people away by doing these kind of things, the more they're just walking right into our red states. Thank you for the electoral advantage. This is how you win, guys. Objectively. The guy went literally, this is on a different day, he went to the hospital. There's the actual footage of it happening right there. The bottom line on this, guys, is we are sitting in a position right now where the left starts talking and he just hit record. That's all you do. They've lost the narrative at ICE. They've lost the narrative in Minnesota. They've now going back to defunding the police, and the victims or the people who actually stab cops are now victims. And somehow that's a thing. Men can be women, men can be pregnant, don't have ovaries, don't have uteruses, but that's not important. They think they can, so therefore they can. It literally makes no sense on any modicum of humanity. Let them talk. And speaking of let them talk, John Thune needs to get up off his butt and allow the standing filibuster to take away. We may win, we may lose. Here's my closing thoughts on this. I would rather lose and you tried everything you could than you throw your hands up in the air and say, we're going to lose, so I might as well not try. I would rather lose trying than lose not trying. That's pretty simple. You try your damnedest. If something doesn't work out, we're going to try it again, and we're going to try it our damnedest again. We're going to vote like we're losing, grind like we're losing, and we're going to share like we're losing. But sure as hell, you're not going to defeat me before I get on the field. That's kind of my stance on it. But what do you guys think? Listen, thank you for putting up with my camera shenanigans, my occasional flubs in language, the amazing defense of the sanctity of the chat. You guys are each and every one of you patriots beyond measure. I caught a few super chats, and some of them I have actually missed, but I apologize if I missed some of them. But I will see you guys on the next one. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Make sure that notification bell is on. Like, subscribe to the channel, share it out, hit that comment, chat, emoji, all the things. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden.